So this game, top lane is tank versus tank. There's not too much to play for. It should be Ezreal mid and not Sivir. I'm not sure, we'll see.
Oh no, it's Seaver mid because he wanted to play Seaver. He actually wanted to play bot lane, but it got switched and he tried Seaver mid, which is stupid, but it's fine. That was my pre-made, by the way.
You win in terms of the jungle, as long as you just get your W going so that you get those free autos or abilities procced. In terms of mid lane, you can gank if Corki uses his W. If he doesn't use his W, then we can't really gank. And then on bot lane, all we need to be aware of is the fact that they have a very strong all-in with Nautilus. So whenever we feel like there is a potential fight coming up, then we want to go here and time it so that when Nautilus presses Q to go in, but then we can go in and kill him. So, and on top of that, we have Shen ulti. Pretty strong at level 6, so then we can look for some solo plays that are a bit more greedy. But most importantly, this game is going to come down to timing your ganks, because you can't just gank whenever you want to. And it comes down to clearing efficiently and also stopping Diana from power farming, because she clears slightly faster than Mordekaiser does. So those are the 3 things to focus on. So it's not to spam ganks or anything like that. We start off with a level 1, we flash out, it's fine.
That's basically anyways the style of from farm play around objectives and don't very much on babysit.
We get first blood. Here all you want to keep track of is the summoner spells. So who uses flash? And you are probably not going to get all of them, especially if they're all flash at the same time. But just be sure that you remember one of the flashes that are being used and then focus on that lane, because you can maybe now get a cheese gank off. So you now know that Diana doesn't have flash. That means that, oh, I can potentially do an invade on Diana because she is weaker than me and now she can't escape because she doesn't have flash. Same thing goes for Corki now. So an aggressive play within the next 5 or 4 minutes on Diana or Corki is possible, and if it's possible to get a kill, then we should abuse it. And then yeah, in terms of how you're pathing, if you're playing for a lane, then playing for mid and bot lane are the best. Otherwise, then we are pathing according to stopping Diana from being able to full clear. It all depends what you're playing for. If you're playing for counter jungling, then we play for invading. And if we play for lanes, then we play for mid and bot lane, because those are the best lanes for us to gank. Right now it would be mid, because mid lane doesn't have flash.
Because I thought like, I mean the biggest issues could be Diana, but it's more like Corki or Twitch.
Here we see the Diana, and here you'll just see that now Diana has already cleared faster than you, right? So yes. That's why it's important that you stop her from power farming. Preferably you want to do it here on the first jungle rotation, but due to the fact that all of this stuff that happened in level 1 and that you're already ahead, then it's not needed. But typically, you would like to do it if you're even, because otherwise Diana will just be ahead of you. But here we end up seeing Diana on bot, meaning that you have the opportunity to now look for a double Scuttle Crab. What I want you to do is actually try to get to this one as well, because we saw Diana down here on bot. And then all it comes down to, if she comes from base, then we can only win if we have prio on the lanes. If she doesn't come from base, but she walks from bot side to top side, then we can actually win, but we have to respect if anyone from enemy team can rotate. Yeah, we actually end up seeing Diana down here, so we just end up killing her.
Yeah, I wish it was. But Ezreal was so greedy. And then I get that
Here I think you should still focus on killing the Diana. Because the issue here, this is actually a thing that's very useful for everyone to know. You should always kill the target that has the highest amount of damage. Because if you kill Diana, then you can also kill Nautilus. But if you kill Nautilus, Diana can kill you. So that's why you should still focus on getting the Diana. And basically what you would try and do is you just walk around either here or here, and then use your pull to make sure that you can pull her towards you, press Q, and then she's dead. I wouldn't use my E blindly. Same thing goes for the Q. I would simply wait. So the first Q I don't agree with. The second ability being E I also don't agree with. And then they're just kiting you back and forth because now you don't have any abilities you can get to Diana with. And then you will see that Diana is the champion killing you.
I guess I even would have won probably if I used Q and E on Nautilus.
Maybe, but you would have traded 1 for 1.
Yeah.
But yeah. It was just the focus was incorrect, and also the abilities used was also incorrect.
But I mean, if Israel didn't jump in because he wanted to steal the kill, I don't want to blame others. But that was like the situation.
Yeah, that was the reason why it ended up happening, but you can make up for his mistake in that situation. Then take the top scuttle, we see Diana on top side, so now there's an opportunity, depending on the situation, where if you have mid and bot prio, you have the option to either start the dragon, because we see Diana on top side, or we can simply go and invade some of her bot side jungle camps. Yeah. Because they will be up by now.
Yeah.
Those are the options, either the Drake or the counter jungling. Whichever one you want to, all depends on if you play for yourself, then you play for counter jungling camps. If you play for the team, then you play for Drake. But we should be doing something at least. And we end up getting Drake, which is fine. So now what this means is that, if possible, we would try and avoid playing for bot lane until Rift spawns at minute 8. Secure the Rift Herald at minute 8 and then play towards bot side again. So for the next minute and a half, I want you to play for top lane if possible. Just try and get prio. In this situation you actually don't even need prio because Shen has ulti. Actually just keep up your CS and get to level 6, and then you can go towards Rift Herald and rush that one instantly on spawn. Here you see Diana, so here it's important that you go towards the play being topside rather than just farming camps. So we see her right here. Here we stop doing this and we go towards here to see if we can do anything, because Shen still has ulti and Diana ends up getting low and she ends up being forced to flash. So you would be able to win this. And even if you're playing for level 6, it's incorrect because all these minions will die and you will get experience, and that could also give you level 6. And you don't even get level 6. You're very close, but didn't quite get it. And then here, kind of same thing. You just saw Diana, low HP, and with no flash. I want you to play more aggressive. Play for this Scuttle Crab, get level 6 from Scuttle Crab, and then play towards the Rift Herald. And also don't waste the smite, because you need it for that Rift Herald. That you can actually rush now that Diana was low on HP and with no flash. And yeah. Now the issue is, Diana is taking this. She will hit level 6 off this. And then we're again just playing passive. Letting the Diana scale and power farm, which we don't want. We want to stop her from doing this. Going on top scale would be the way to do it. Now you're too late. You end up starting the rift, but they have vision on you. It's a little bit risky, but I guess we saw Diana moving towards spot, it's fine. You get the Rift Herald and then we can play towards spot. So in the end you do the correct things, but whenever you have the advantage, you should abuse it to play aggressive. And it can be HP, it can be levels, it can be items, it can be tempo. Whenever you have an advantage, try and abuse it to get something. Even if it's just one jungle camp, it's still good.
Yeah, got it.
Then we will play for bot side again, which is fine. We're actually very close to being able to using the Rift Herald to kill this tower. So here, potentially, depending on the game plan here, if you want to base for a very specific item, then you can. But what I would try and do is, I would say, okay, Diana's now down here in bot side, and my bot lane is my strong side, right? Like they are kind of winning. So what I would do is I would simply say, okay, I'll stay on bot side for the 3v3, just for two different things. To make sure that Diana can't make a play, and to make sure that my bot lane feels safe. And if then Diana says, okay, this is waste of time, this 3v3, I have topside camps that I want to take, she leaves, well then now you can use the Rift Herald, go in here, use Rift Herald to go onto the tower, get the tower, and maybe you can kill them after the tower, right? That's what I want you to do. Because with this amount of gold, you don't even have your Mythic. If you had your Mythic, then arguably you could reset, play for yourself. Because it all comes down to what ends up happening. So if it's a 3v3, then you kind of just go even, but you don't mind it. And then if she leaves, then you can play for the tower. The only reason why you would instantly recall here would be if you see that the Diana is not recalling and she's staying, and you know your bot lane is safe, then you can recall and invade her topside camps with the item advantage. Because you'll make it to her camps before because she's staying on bot, right? That would be the only reason. So you need vision on Diana, that she is here, and then the next play, if you recall here, should be I'm going to invade her. That would be the only reason why I'd recall. Otherwise, you should not recall. You should just stay here and play for the bot tower with your bot lane.
Got it.
And yeah, here we just don't have... actually, we do see Diana, so... This is fine that you recall, but then you have to invade up here. But I still think staying would have been the best option, because it gives you the most amount of gold. And then your bot lane is already one lane, and then maybe you can lane swap or something, start getting even more platings. Oh, and actually also we have Shen ult, so it's actually not a 3v3, it's a 4v3. Yeah, as you see, you end up winning, and then you end up on bot side anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same like before. Same play, but I should have done it earlier.
Yeah. Because now the issue is that Zac is getting a lot of done here on top side, because Shen ults it down here, and now you're also on bot side and it's too far for you to get here, so you're supposed to do the Drake now. So it feels a little bit awkward doing it in this way, that's why you should have done it in a different way. It was still worth, but it could have been way better. Like, you could have denied Zac platings, you could have gotten more experience and gold, and everything would just have been better, but still good. We have a decent lead now, so this is good. So now, the next fight would probably be once you've based and you have your ulti, or once you have your Mythic, would be the next time that you look for a play. This was good that you tried to look for the scuttle. Just a little bit unfortunate that we don't get there first, but if we ended up being there first, it would have been good. So then it maybe comes down to should you have given up one of these camps, make it faster down here to deny her a camp so you can maybe invade her after. That is what it would come down to, because you were too slow in that situation. Here I would simply help Sivir with the Zac.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Push. Then we play for the Rift. So here I want you to stay for a little bit until Rift Herald spawns. And then take the Rift and then play for a bot and for the Drake again after. Fighting down here, which is not ideal. Shouldn't be doing that, but it is what it is. We get the Rift Herald, which is good. And then here, it all depends. If you need the gold for your Mythic, I would definitely try and counter jungle her Grump, at least, maybe even also the Wolves. Because you do have some time before you need to be on bot side. Unless if you want to play for Scuttlecrab instantly. But better to move in and take this than taking Raptors, for example.
Okay.
So either take the Grump or take the Scuttle. Those are the two that you should prioritize here. If you need the gold. If you don't need the gold and you have Mythic, then you just base. Yep. For bot. Break spawning. Break. And then now we just make sure that they counter us Baron in 2 minutes. And then we just play for the Drake. We don't have to force anything. So the next fight, unless if it's a free fight, next fight should be here. In 4 minutes 30. So at minute, say 22 something, like 22:30. Type that up here, 20:30. That should be the next spot. Or the next big fight. Unless if it's like a free fight where they're running into you or something like that. Then that should be the next one. For example, this is pretty free because you can just ulti here. But this I don't mind, this is completely fine. Here's the Rift Herald, this is decent. Another proc, also good. Here we just need to make sure that we don't end up overstaying because we don't want to give shutdowns. Which we end up doing. So here I think the play is Rift Herald, okay, that's fine. We have vision of Sack here, so we know that they're flanking. The play is let the Rift Herald bounce, and now we back off. Because this guy is dead, this guy is dead, this guy spawns soon. So already right now, there are 4 and we are only 3 people. That's the first thing. The second thing is you don't have ult. Ken doesn't have ult. So you only have Escher who has ult. You also don't have any summoner spells that are useful. And Diana spawns before you, and you have a Sack that's actually flanking you here. So this fight is not good for you whatsoever. So you just want to use the Rift Herald, get this proc. You could even say you just want to get this tower only, and then you don't care about this one. Because again, you getting this tower or not is not game changing yet. Like having an open inhib doesn't change the game yet because we're this early into the game. It's better for you to not give the shutdown gold and be stronger than the enemy team by having more items on the Drake fight. So this is like a big overstay, and us hitting the tower here should not be done. Here you should have backed off yourself, and then you should have pinged your team that, yo, we back off. We don't want to go. And then, yeah. Because now the gold will end up going from 32k to 33. Almost 34, so that was almost... That was basically 2k gold we just gave the enemy team for free.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the throws that I saw in the gold graph. This was why.
Ah, yeah, got it. So that's when the catch up. Pretty much. 35.
So instead of having a 6-7k gold lead, now you have like a 4k gold lead instead. And then once again, just make sure that the enemy team can't take Baron, and you yourself just play for the Drake that spawns in a minute and a half. try and set that one up. Here, defending is fine. Only thing you have to be careful of here is that the enemy team could potentially rush Baron if you stay down here for too long and we don't have vision. But because you end up seeing the Diana here, now you know that they're not on Baron. But it was a little bit risky doing it without any vision of enemy team whatsoever. Once again, we're not really interested in fighting here. We got a flash for free, that's fine. We basically just want to let this guy push up here for as long as possible and get vision control and just wait for the Drake to spawn within the next minute. That is play. Same thing, we don't care about this tower. We get this tower but we lose HP or have to burn a summoner spell, it's not worth for us because objective coming up. Yeah, and this is bad positioning. So, as I said, fight should have been happening here at 22:30. It ended up happening here at 22 something. And that's the difference between us winning the game fast and the game being close.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, now we have to wait another 5 minutes for the next Drake to spawn. So again, if there are any free fights, we can take them. But otherwise, we just want to make sure that we don't throw any further and that we just play for the next Drake once again. Here we have to be a little bit careful of taking this fight because of the fact we don't have Shen ulti just yet. He's forced to TP in. So the issue with this fight is once again it's unnecessary because Shen is pushing down here. He doesn't have his ulti yet, so he was actually forced to TP to this fight. And the fight wasn't gonna be super free because you ended up ulting the Nautilus. Which you don't end up killing. If you ulted like the Twitch or the Corki or the Diana and you end up killing them, then of course that can result in you getting Baron and then it's fine. But you should have played it way slower. This is not going in your favor. And then yeah, once again, just goes even, but everyone just gets more items, which is scary because Diana scales, Corki scales, Twitch scales, and they also have like decent gates to set up their champions. So yeah. And yeah, now it wasn't even worth for us because now they got more gold than we did. So now from that 6-7k gold lead, the gold lead is now barely 3.5k. Yeah. So it's basically half of what it was earlier. The flash ulti part, I don't really agree with because it's a little bit too early and it's once again on Nautilus. Just like before the last fight, it's not on the right target and you're wasting your flash and ulti too early for the Drake because now everyone will respawn and now you don't have flash ult by the time that we get to the Drake fight. So you're playing not for the Drake fight, you're playing just for a random pick-off fight, forcing too much. But then Zac ends up dying and then you get it anyway, but if Zac didn't die, then they could very easily have gotten this Drake themselves. So now we have Soul, so this means we can now play for top side, so now we'll just secure vision on top side and top river, and look to play towards the Baron. This fight is also a bit random. Once again, it's on the Tang target that you pick out. And and it's just a fight that's a bit weird. Here we were fighting on top lane for top lane waves, rather than fighting for this area right here, where we have so much vision right now. We decided to take it up here, where it's just 50-50, right? This is 50-50 with vision. We then take a look how much vision does the enemy team have in top river. Well, they have nothing. So here you actually have full control. They have one word right here, so maybe it's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
And this was another reason. So now your gold lead is completely gone. Now it's completely even. The only thing that is good for you is the fact that you got soul before you threw. So this is like the fourth throw of the game, and only reason why you're still stronger is because of soul. If you didn't have soul, the enemy team in 10 minutes would just win the game because of their team comp. So you see that this fight you end up winning because it's in that area where you have full vision. But then the enemy team just ended up throwing, and then you get the Baron, so you get a small goal lead again, 3k. And then, yeah, with this Baron we just look to push, but Elder is coming up, so we look to push mid lane if possible, and then bot lane if possible. We don't really want to push in top, only Shen should be pushing top if he wants to. The rest should be in mid or bot lane. And doesn't really matter which one, because both inhib towers are up. Both tier 2 towers has been taken, so...
So basically the consistency around objectives I should keep after mid-game too. Because that's when I'm just picking up too many random plays. More aggressive early, less aggressive mid to late.
You can still be aggressive, you just kind of want to be aggressive at the right time. So like, 1 minute before Drake is too early to flash ulti, but 30 seconds before would be ideal, because then they will still be in base by the time that you have killed them. Or the Drake spawns, they will still be in base or just coming out of base, and then you have time to do the Drake. So that's the difference. It's 30 seconds, but that can be the difference between you getting the Drake and winning the Drake fight and you not winning it. So it's all about being aggressive at the right time. So yeah, this fight is once again really weird. It's again on Nautilus, our team is not here, and we have a Drake that is spawning, and once again we have full control up here. Okay, they do have a little bit, so it's maybe like an 80-20 situation in your favor, whereas here it's completely 50-50 because of minions both give vision, and no one has vision here. No one has vision here, so it's just completely 50-50. No one has vision anywhere down here. Whereas in this area right here, we have so much vision and they don't have any almost. Yeah, this is also just another pointless fight. That could have been a big throw and they could get Elder, and then you wouldn't be able to fight for 2 minutes until that Drake buff expires, and then, yeah. And then, yeah, this is just completely 50-50, like it could go either way. It's really close that they end up winning in it, and then they could get Elder, but luckily you won this flip, and then you get Elder. And then with this Elder, now you can force, for example. Now it would be really good to play as aggressive as possible, because now you have Elder. But this is good. The fight with Elder, this is good, and then you can just end the game. So yeah, just the way you play for objectives were mostly good, but just keep in mind those timers. So you know, now I should play aggressive, now I should play passive. Where would I like the fight to be going? Should I flash ulti? Who should I flash ulti? When should I flash ulti? Stuff like that. And then avoid overstaying and throwing, because those shutdowns matters a lot. Like, you can lose half of your lead in one play just because of those shutdowns and bounties. So